So yesterday we had made a video about the Poco X3 Pro RomCom. That video has since been made private because there was some talk going on with the developers in the background, and that video is now attached at the end of this video so that you don't come to me and tell me that, hey Manchi, you deleted that video, made it private, we don't know what was the content of that video. Here is the timestamp where that specific video starts, and before I get into the details, I still stand by what I said. So one of the developers sent me this message from another developer, and this is what they had said. A, this video makes no sense. No. Device according to company policy wasn't given to develop for current device but is usually given to reward devs for their old work. This is what Gemini said during Poco OS first dev program. To be honest, Munchie was very well active in that conversation, IIRC, if I remember correctly, so I don't know why he skips mentioning it. This is why I made the video private, because the developer said that according to company policy, device wasn't given to develop for current device but is usually given to reward devs for their old work. And then the same developer attached a screenshot. Here's the screenshot. We followed Mishal's recommendations, and this is Jay Money, who has since left Poco. Mishal was the editor-in-chief of XDA developers. The only three requests I had were Lineage OS official build, Gcam developers, Indian developers who have been supporting Xiaomi devices for a long time. The rationale is quite simple based on your past work. But, Jay Money wants three specific things. Lineage OS stable build for what? Old device already has one, or for Poco F1? For Poco F1, right, Captain Obvious? Then he wants Gcam again for what? For Poco F1. So your statement that according to company policy device wasn't given to develop for current device is absolutely wrong. Yes, it is given on the fact of your previous work, which is what I had stated in my video, that you all are awesome, great developers, which is why you got the device. But the expectation is to develop for the device you got. So I contacted the developer directly, right? And I asked them that if what you are saying, that the expectation of development for current device from you is wrong, is not as per company policy, then why the hell on earth is the Poco X3 Pro official updates Telegram channel pushing this out? All 5 devs received their development unit. Time for RomCom. RomCom for what? RomCom for the old device which you've already proven your work on, or RomCom for the Poco X3 Pro? And they again come back to me and tell me I just told what Jay said. So Jay has already left. Jay is out of the building. Nobody cares what Jay said. And if what Jay said was meant to be, then it should have been mentioned in those tweets which Poco India put out, that this RomCom is for old devices. Do not expect anything for the Poco X3 Pro. We are just rewarding the developers, giving them a free device and doing free marketing for our RomCom. You might not get a ROM for the Poco X3 Pro. And then they say, if you read here, it's clearly written selected on basis of past work. Yes, I have mentioned that in my video. You were selected based on your past work. You all are awesome, great developers. But the thing here is somebody got their behind hurt. Why? Because what I recommended is that if you're not using the device, pass it to someone else who will build ROMs. Maybe you do not have time, maybe you have a busy schedule, maybe you have lost interest. I was just giving an honest suggestion from my end. And then I asked them, so you are saying that the X3 Pro was a gift for past work and we should not expect anything from those who got it. And then comes the U-turn. Nope, I am not saying that. But what I'm saying is official development devices are reward for past work with expectations to work on current device being given. If latter is not fulfilled, devices won't be given to the same devs next time. Hopefully I have made myself clear. Yes, that is what I have said in the video. You were given a device based on your awesome, great past work. Now, if you do not have the interest, I just gave a suggestion to pass it on to somebody else. Nobody took names. I did not take no specific names. I did not do any personal attacks. I was just giving a suggestion for the goodness of the community, so the community can grow, some other person can get a chance to work on a device. If you do not have the time, if you have lost interest because it's been 4 months and there have been no updates, again, just some advice as being part of the community, but yes, people get offended, and it was all but natural that one of them was going to get offended. And I did apologize. I say video has been made private, and I'm sorry if you feel I am passing judgments, but I was not. And that is where it goes downhill. So the mistake which I made was just make a video on the sad state of Poco X3 Pro RomCom, and all I can say is if somebody got offended, got their behind hurt, I'm sorry. And those of you who have been asking in the Poco X3 Pro official Telegram group that what happened to the RomCom devices, how come 3 or 4 of the developers do not do anything, well, you gotta stop asking that question because I hope you have your answer now. Whatever the hell happened to the Poco X3 Pro RomCom devices? Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and let us talk about the Poco X3 Pro RomCom, or something which was like a romantic comedy. Nah, 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 nah. So those of you who do not know, sometime in October, maybe like October 4th, 2021, Poco India announced RomCom, or a ROM community for the Poco X3 Pro. What was the aim of this community? The aim of this community was to send devices for free to 5 awesome, great developers. Now, on October 18th, those 5 great developers were chosen based on the fact that they had awesome history in custom ROMs, then their work was pretty dope, which is why they were chosen in the first place. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, awesome, skilled, great developers, and that was back in October. So October 18th, the results were announced. I'm pretty sure by October end, everybody would have gotten their devices. But what date is it today? It is almost February end, maybe like 4 months. November, December, January, February. Yep, 4 months. And out of those 5 developers, I see one of them super active in bringing a custom ROM for the Poco X3 Pro. One of them is mildly active, and the other 3 are nowhere to be seen creating ROMs for the Poco X3 Pro. Now, before you people start jumping the gun and saying that you are disrespecting the developers, I have utmost respect for them, which is why I am making this video. So, the issue here is that you were given the device by the company with the hopes of bringing some awesome great custom ROMs to the Poco X3 Pro. Everybody has a personal life, everybody has personal preferences, but I'm pretty sure you were asked about it before they sent you the devices, and you would have definitely agreed to make some awesome custom ROMs or some custom mods or some custom kernels for the Poco X3 Pro. But it has been 4 months since you had the device, and we see no progress. So people in the groups, people on Telegram groups, Telegram channels are wondering what the hell happened to the Poco RomCom. The post, which was made public after the devices were sent, was like, it's not a romantic comedy, but trust me, this is what is happening over here right now. It seems to be a romantic comedy because maybe the devices were given out of friendship, and the comedy part is that the phone which is lying in your drawer, turned off, which you're not using, which you're supposed to make a custom ROM on, we don't see no progress. So if you do not have the motivation, the interest, or maybe you do not have the time to develop a custom ROM, custom kernel for the Poco X3 Pro RomCom program, then I think the best option is to send it over to someone else who is going to work on it and give something back to the community, because that is what the hope was from you. So with all due respect to all the developers who got the devices, if you're not working for it, send it over to someone else who's going to work on it and bring some awesome custom ROMs and custom kernels or some custom mods for the Poco X3 Pro.